Now, the National Rifle Association has announced recommendations for preventing gun violence at schools. They did it earlier today. Now, the NRA first announced the National School Shield program in December in response to the Newtown, Connecticut school massacre. Now, a website pledged to report back with a set of school safety proposals, and we've learned that report will include training recommendations to prepare armed guards for schools and legislative proposals for Congress.
By far, the most important thing in this debate is a universal background check. And it's to make sure that criminals don't have the access to a handgun by going to a gun show or over the internet. It's the most common sense thing we can do to reduce the guns in the hands of criminals and the mentally ill, the dangerously mentally ill. So that's number one with regards to this legislation. Then there's also addressing gun trafficking and getting the mental health status of people that are dangerously mentally ill into the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. That is so important.
Now, that was former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords' husband, Mark Kelly, and he, again, clearly, his wife was almost killed because of what happened to her when that crazed gunman struck when she was out at a constituent meeting out in Arizona. So my question with our resident legal eagle, Kwame Thompson. You see what we have all these RICO scandals going around, so you see the name is easy to pop in my head. But my question for you is, everyone is saying, I talked to a gentleman today on Facebook earlier, and he was saying that the Second Amendment is being violated, and that's why he supports what the NRA is doing. Tell me from a legal perspective, does the fact that they want to have these criminal background check systems, does the fact that they want to go in and keep guns away or certain types of guns away from certain people, does that infringe on Second Amendment rights from a legal perspective?
Okay, well, Rahman, let me read the Second Amendment to you. It says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So the Second Amendment clearly is in reference to a well-regulated militia. Now, what we have here is that the NRA will play into the conservative mindset that their rights will be infringed if we have this universal background check. But there is no relational correlation to an infringement on that Second Amendment right.
Now, is there a ground for someone, let's say that these things that Congress does put these mandates in, is there going to be grounds for someone to appeal that and maybe take it up to the high court?
Well, this a locus standi, or legal standing, is an entire legal field within itself. But an individual could possibly bring a case to challenge the laws because legal standing has to do with one's own property rights or their own injuries. And if someone feels that their rights are infringed or their constitutional rights are infringed, then there's a possibility that they could have standing and bring a lawsuit to fight those laws.
Good information. Kwame, thanks so much for joining us and giving us that background. And we'll be keeping in contact with you to see how this unfolds.
Thank you.
Coming up just ahead on Bounce News at 7, of course, yesterday was April Fool's Day, and everybody did jokes and fun stuff. Well, the White House got in on it too. They pulled an April Fool's joke on the media. We'll tell you how. We'll be right back.